NoSo Connection. Welcome to NoSo Draft Day. JT and Ryan here again with another great draft. We've been crushing them, Ryan, here in late 25 into the big 2-6. That's my thing. I keep saying it, and I get at least one eye roll per episode when I do say it.
Two more.
Okay, there you go.
13-year-old says it.
Yes. Oh, good. See, I'm cool.
Yeah, you're right in there.
And the 2-6. This podcast is simulcast audio on most podcast applications, except for those bottom feeders over at Spotify, and then video on our YouTube channel under North-South Connection. It is a Royal Rumble season, obviously based on the title of this draft, and we've had tons of great content. Ryan, you've been killing it with all the previews heading into the show. And of course, we'll have our post show following the Rumble. It'll be early for you. You don't have to be up in the wee hours for once. So the show's at 2:00 Eastern time, right? So
yeah, with all the commercial breaks, probably still will end at around midnight.
10 or 11, maybe. Aaron George and I, who we'll talk to in a minute, on No Holds Barred, rebooked the 1996 Royal Rumble as part of our big 95-96 rebook series. And then on Monday, following the Rumble weekend, check out Marcus Fuller and myself on Dirty War covering the 1996 Royal Rumble. See where that ranks all time on our pay-per-view list. And before you know, it's Mania season. And Mania season, we go all out at the NoSo. So we'll be crushing it there as well. All right, Ryan, this is a really fun topic. We're going to be drafting Royal Rumble matches. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our guests. For those watching, you'll see them on the screen. And it's an exciting one. It's kind of the OG draft class here. Back at it. And we're going to go ahead and bring in the man who is the producer of the aforementioned Dirty War, also helps do a lot of production work on No Holds Barred. And you can find him at the Patreon location of Final Wrestling Place. Highly recommend subscribing there. That is our producer, not the tool man, Tim Taylor, the master of the thumbnail. How are you, my friend?
I am trying my best, getting by the not the date and time stamp, but it's cold. It's cold, y'all. So we're getting by, and I'm glad to be back in the draft room. I'm very excited to be back and chopping it up with.
Where you're at is the drafty room.
It is a drafty room. I got the cellophane on the windows to trap the heat. But we're good. It's good to be back in the saddle with you three boys talking some wrestling.
All right. And our fourth man here tonight is my buddy and co-host of the No Holds Barred podcast. And of course, one of the original founders of North-South Connection. He's been around a while. You know him as Aaron George. Aaron, how are you?
I'm good. It's a sweltering -20 out here. So, I'm feeling blessed. Maybe I'll go out in a bathing suit later and shovel or something.
You know where it's not cold is Saudi Arabia. There is still time, as we learned in the Christmas play, to fire up the jet and head over to the warmth of the Middle East. All right, Ryan, what are we doing here tonight? Tell us, how are we doing this?
All right, we are drafting Royal Rumble matches anywhere from 1988 through the greatest Royal Rumble all the way to present day 2025 men's and women's. So the women's date all the way back to 2018, and there's a plethora. I think, Aaron, you said 47-ish?
47, including the greatest Royal Rumble, which seems very high. I don't feel like we've been watching this Rumble for 50 years.
Well, it's technically 30. This would be what, the 38th
edition? Yes. So, yes, 38.
Yeah. So we're almost at 40. That's crazy. We are old. We have lived. This company is built for us. Like it peaked right as we were getting into our pre-childhood, and it grew up with the attitude, and now we're bitter and old. And
all right, Justin, here is the order. Aaron, Ryan, JT, and the Tool Man.
All right. Aaron's got the pole position. We know that. And
I'm always in the pole position. The pole is always in position.
Always in position.
If there was ever to have a draft to be the first pick, this would probably be it. I remember when we did the NWO draft, I had fourth pick, and that seemed like the worst draft pick ever. This might be one of the best draft picks ever.
Yeah.
But even Tim's got that turnaround nice spot, so he's going to clean up a couple off the table.
Hopefully. I could botch it.
One can hope.
It's off.
A kid can dream, can he?
All right, we just going? Look, I was thinking about this today, and I'm like, I almost didn't want number one because I was like, it might be I might have a more interesting grouping of shows, but I have no choice. There's one pick at number one. I would say it's a top 10 match in company history, and maybe top 5 even. Universally lauded as the greatest, best commentary, And of course, that's 1995. No, it's I'm going to pick number 92. Obviously, Ric Flair going the distance. Wasn't in the game plan, but I feel very good with that pick. So
yeah,
onward and upward.
We've done a lot of these drafts now between No Holds Barred and these draft day specials, and like, do you think that was the most ever consensus number one pick in any of these drafts? Like, I think we've had a couple that were probably obvious, but like everyone's taking that on this draft, right? Like, it's not even like, oh, well, maybe. Like, it's 92 locked and loaded.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Kind of to my point earlier, it's like the opposite of the NWO draft where I had fourth, where it was Hogan, Hall, and Nash, and then who's left? It's 92, and then what's left, right? So yeah, it's the best number one pick ever, really.
Mm-hmm.
My first pay-per-view I ever watched, so I'm happy I'm representing it here.
I watched that on Scramble Vision, and I was riveted because of Gorilla and Bobby were so good. I could follow along the whole match without even missing a beat. Like, if for a Rumble, that's tough, and I was able to like live that whole show without even visualize seeing it. And just hearing it and being able to picture it as it was going.
So when Bobby said he's got him by the tongue, did you think he had him by the tongue on the ropes?
I feel like he had that joke in every single IRS match, so I was pretty well versed in what he was actually doing.
All right, I got second pick. I actually think I'm in a hard position because I can go in a lot of directions here. It's like
the pole position and the hard position so far. We'll see what else we get.
You're gonna get the wet one next.
It's better than the limp position, right? But I feel that there is a clear second, but it's tiered much closer than the 92 ones, and that is 2001, right? It's the end of the Attitude Era. We've always talked about the strings of three, right? And the Rumble, No Way Out, and WrestleMania 17 are like the strings of three. And you get the Kane performance, you get the Austin trilogy, and then you kind of just get a really good match. It's a mix of the end of the Attitude Era, the beginnings of the Ruthless guys squeaking in and out. And I just feel that it's probably the most complete in star-studded Rumble as well. And it tells a bunch of good stories throughout. And it's very, very rewatchable. So second pick is 2001.
You know who doesn't get enough credit for that match is The Rock. The Rock is excellent start to finish. I know Kane has the longevity, but The Rock is in there almost as long. And
The Rock comes out top the 13. Yeah.
He's really
yeah.
It's a fantastic Rumble. I mean, it's absolutely loaded.
Even the comedy spot, Drew, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Drew Carey's one of the best comedy spots
great.
ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. You get some of the hardcore stuff in there, I believe, right? Yeah, they do that. I mean, it's and
Hardy's kicking it off, right? So yeah.
And I like how they go with Austin and Kane at the end because it's counterintuitive. You're thinking that you're going to get Austin Rock, right, the way it's going, but they do it well because that helps protect Austin's pop at the end by having Kane be the last guy instead of Rock, and it keeps them a little bit apart from Mania as well. Because if you have them as the last two in the Rumble, it takes a little bit of piss off the Mania match. So I kind of like that they do that tease, and then Kane ends up being the last guy.
Yeah, you don't even get like Kurt Angle or Triple H in it. You get the Kurt Angle attack, right? Or the Triple H attack.
Right.
But you don't have two pivotal guys at that timetable as well. Triple H coming off of 2000, and then Kurt Angle really on his ascend. So it's loaded. It's very, very extremely rewatchable.
I rewatched it in college, right after it aired, pretty much with one of my roommates who kind of watched wrestling with us, but not really. And we did a power hour. So every entrant we did a shot of beer. So by the end we were feeling pretty good by the end of that one.
You should do the greatest Royal Rumble power hour.
Rest in peace.
You just die again.
Yeah, I would not do it in our advanced stage, but at the time I was able to handle it.
Seemed like a good idea.
No, it probably wasn't even at the time. All right, so as is my usual want in these drafts, I feel like I'm probably going to leave a couple of potentially better options on the table, but I'm just going with the match I want because I'm too afraid that Tim may take it, and I'm not going to risk it. Even though I know he edges more to the modern days, I'm not going to risk losing the 1990 Royal Rumble, which is like one of my favorites of all time.
Great Rumble.
All right, he's pumped, so he was not going to take it, but that's okay. I wanted it. I misread. I know he loves the modern stuff, so I had a feeling it may slip by. But Aaron, we talked about this a lot when we did our January match rankings, just like we call the color Rumble where you can see all the bright colors and everything just sticks out. It pops so well. And that's a sneaky loaded Rumble too. If you look at that full roster that it's in that match, it is top to bottom, like all the top stars of that era. And it's super, super fun. Plus you get the hype for the Ultimate Challenge. So,
and you get Shivani.
Yeah.
Shivani is good in that
he's good.
on that Rumble too.
It's loaded with star power extremely early too, which is a little unconventional with Royal Rumbles.
And I think one of the
go ahead. I was just going to say, it's good you brought that up, Ryan, because they're really smart with how they book it in terms of always having someone in the ring that the people care about. So like right from the crowd is so hot the whole show, but they have no moment in the match to calm down ever.
Yeah.
No, there's 3 great things too. Like you get the DiBiase payoff from the year before, which is a cool year-long annuity. I love Snook eliminating Earthquake, like where they're trying to get him out. He comes in from underneath and just like shoves him up over the top. But I think one of the most underrated spots of that match is Demolition taking out Andre. Like the pop for that is like so great, and it sets up their march to get the belts back at Mania. So really cool to get it, even though I probably could have gotten something else and then gotten this. There's at least 3 more I'd like. So
you're good to have it, because I was thinking if I didn't get number 1, I'm probably picking that one first.
Yeah,
because like even this, there's a sequence early on where it's Savage DiBiase against Jake and Piper. And the crowd loses it. Like if they don't know how to contain themselves anymore. Freaking love that match.
Yeah, number 4, 5, and 6 is Jake, Savage, and Piper. Like,
that little mini tag dream match is so good. Like you just said, it's like Savage and DiBiase against Piper and Jake, and it's just, and then I think Brett comes in. So it's like just
nothing
cool mix. Yeah, he's whatever on that one, but it's such a cool mix of guys. So.
Dusty's 10. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dusty's super over too. Yeah.
Yeah. He eliminates Savage as payback for the earlier thing with Sapphire. When brother, does he load you in his pickup truck? All right, Tim, take us around the turn. What do we got?
All right. I'm fortunate. I still have my 2, 3, and 4 on my draft board still up. So I'm gonna take a little column A, a little column B. I'm leading off with a Royal Rumble that had a very interesting follow-up with the Final 4. And leading into WrestleMania, I'm taking the 1997 Royal Rumble. You can set your watch to it. Perched on the top turnbuckle. The one, probably the King of the Ring happens, but the real kickoff for Stone Cold is the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. And the reaction when Hitman's music hits and Austin freaks out in the corner. Still a top moment for me. Royal Rumbles all time. 97 Rumble for me at 1.
And a great
underrated Rumble. People call it the Luchador Rumble, but like I that always bugged me, because it's like what you want in a Rumble is like if someone has an Iron Man streak and they're consistently excellent the whole time, that's what that Rumble is. And Austin, so good from the moment he comes in at 6 or 5. I forget which one it is.
5.
One of those 2. 5. And he's just good for the whole time. He's entertaining and engaging. And every Rumble, like 92 had Nikolai Volkov in it, right? So like, I'll take Mil Mascaras over Nikolai Volkov.
He didn't eliminate himself though, so
that's true.
It is great. I think we talked about this too on L's Bar. Like one of my only detractions is like they waste a lot of guys. I think that could have been used better and really filled that match out, like Owen and Bulldog and Mero and Gold. Like they kind of use those guys a lot early on. The Lawler spot doesn't get talked about enough as an all-time like comedy Rumble moment where he gets up, it takes a king. He comes in and Brett breaks the sharpshooter, punches him out, and then to Noah King. This is really, really good, and it pays off.
Sells it.
Lawler. I think maybe their last like physical interaction, because Lawler's kind of pro Brett throughout '97, and then he leaves. So I think that may be their last.
Takes a king.
Noah King.
What? And he downplays it the whole rest of the night too.
Yeah, Austin had eliminations that night too. That's crazy.
He's good. It's a great show.
There was a Phineas in a stupid green flannel shirt over the he's wearing.
But Austin destroyed. He has him by like the collar, and his arms are going all weird. You know what's another underrated Austin spot is he throws the snake at Jake. Like Jake's on the floor and he pitches the snake on him.
And that's it for Jake. I think he's gone after that. Like, that's like the final spell. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Remember he was in this.
Yeah, that's like his and he stopped wearing the coat too. So he He had everything hanging out in that match, and I think
Straight
he's
nipples.
pretty much done after that.
Just a bag of loose meat.
Yep.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm torn because I know for sure one of these isn't getting back to me, so I need to know which one I'm willing to sacrifice. And luckily, I was able to be the third man on a podcast talking about January matches. I look.
He's got the list too. Bastard.
Yeah.
I did not use the list, but I am going to take the 2002 Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay.
With the big return or the hyped up returns, Mr. Perfect, Godfather, Goldust. You have the Beautiful Day hype up video for Triple H.
Puts it down for me.
I mean, it is. I am not very big on Triple Paul at all.
Apparently you are. Look, you took us to
It's
our Rumble.
hard to deny. Like, this is probably the best chunk of Triple H you can get.
The MSG return is great, but
but besides his like SmackDown run in 08, like where he's very palatable, where he's not like
He's
the
good in
king god ruler over everything.
2000's fine. Yeah, I agree. 2000's all right.
DX with Sean and stuff too. But we're stretching here.
Yes. But 2002 Rumble, my second pick.
You didn't even mention the Hurricane spot where he's going to
There's so many things.
Maven is like
oh my god,
Undertaker.
Maven, Popcorn, and Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you mentioned 01 being loaded. 02 is sneaky loaded too. Like
Yeah.
there's so many major stars in that Rumble. It is bursting at the seams. Like Rock and Jericho, kind of the only two not in it that are like big stars at that point. And even them is kind of like whatever. Like you got so many dudes, you really don't need them. But yeah, no, we did have a high on that, and it's a great Rumble. It was one of the two I was debating for this spot, so I knew I was either going to get that or the one I'm going to pick in a second. And so yes, you're right, Tim. It would not have gotten back to you by any means because I think it's properly rated. I don't think it gets overlooked by many. I think it's pretty great. All right, I'm wearing the shirt. I got the poster behind me. I got to do it. I'm going to take the 1994 Royal Rumble. Because I know that's not getting back to me for sure. I knew Aaron's taking it around the turn if I don't grab it now. This is one that definitely gets overlooked. And here's courtesy of Ryan, thank you. This is one that definitely gets overlooked for sure. It's sneakily loaded with stars, like both kind of on the back end and dudes about to break out. You get the Diesel push, of course. That kind of starts the Diesel push concept. There's that great stretch. I think it's one of the best like heel dominant stretches in Rumble history when it's like Crush, Diesel, Bigelow. Who else? There's one other one in there. There's like 4 or 5 at a time, and they murder Doink, and it's one of the best spots where Bigelow comes out and Crush holds the rope open so he can come in and throw Bigelow and throw Doink out for him.
Love that.
It's such a cool spot of heel continuity, and they had all worked together to kill the Undertaker earlier in the night. So you also got, of course, the Bret tease and the pop when he comes out. And Aaron and I, we got into this quite a bit about like how the finish works in that setting. Like, yes, I do look back and think high, but it's the two biggest stars. And it sets up a really fun storyline for WrestleMania. And the crowd bid on most of it. I think at the end it was kind of like, we're really not going to win her. But for most of that post-match, like they're biting on the back and forth. So, and obviously I was there live, so it means a little extra to me. Mm-hmm. Sean is amazing in the match as well. So
Sean is so good in that match. Like, he really helps carry that back end. Like,
yep. And I love that double elimination too they do with him and Fatu at the end, where they both get around and they both get thrown out of the corner by Brett Luger. So, and I think it's sneakily Luger's peak as well, because like SummerSlam he's over, but the Rumble he's like really over. Like he feels like the top guy with Brett. The two of them in that match feel like the top guys in the promotion, and it's only from there to Mania is it for him. But like he really feels like a top guy in those few months, and it starts there.
Is that the closest? I know this is going to sound insane, but this has to be on the list of like one of the closer times they actually almost successfully recreated Hogan and Warrior with those two.
Yeah.
Because I feel they always push it, but you don't get that boost the way like, because when they eliminate those two guys, then turn and start punching, like they're just going back and forth. That's a huge, massive pop right there. And it's sustained to the end.
Rock kind of do it in 01, right? Don't they kind of do something similar before?
Are they alone? I don't remember if they're ever like alone in the ring.
Austin Triple H kind of are in 02, right before Hurricane comes in.
Hurricane, that's right. Yeah, but Triple H, you know how I am.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure there's others too later in the modern ones, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Aaron, Ryan, what do you got next?
All right. I'm probably having bad strategy here because I don't really think Aaron's going to go modern, but I still don't want to risk it. I'm going to go 2020 Royal Rumble in men's version, and I'm going to take the winner, Drew McIntyre. He's christened. He comes in around 16-ish and eliminates Brock Lesnar, who eliminated everyone beforehand.
Everyone.
And
every single person.
Every single person from Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, whoever, John Morrison, they all
Rusev.
paled to comparison to the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. And then even within that Brock run, it was like, all right, what is this Royal Rumble? But as it builds with Brock, it's like peak Brock. Like they're maximizing what Brock Lesnar is there. And it worked for me. And then the second half of that, you have Drew McIntyre on top of the Edge match, a good run from Ziggler and whatnot. And it's like two different Rumbles within one. So you get the star Brock Lesnar, and then they transfer that stardom to Drew McIntyre in a meta way, but in a Royal Rumble way as well with that big elimination, and what an incredible pop and a way to make Drew McIntyre. And you're like, well, that's got to be Drew's moment. He's not going to really win the thing because they gave him the Brock elimination, and then he eliminates Roman, and it's just like, wow, they doubled down on Drew McIntyre even. It's a great Royal Rumble, and I barely mentioned the Edge return. It was rumored coming out of the Elias stuff at the Toronto SummerSlam pre-show, but we weren't certain, and it is an all-time pop, and it's an all-time Royal Rumble moment, and Edge goes out there and does some good stuff. AJ's good in it as well. Him and Ziggler are kind of the glue later on in that match. And
he gets hurt. Doesn't he get hurt in that match?
Yeah,
on the spear.
Yeah.
But it's a solid Royal Rumble that just continuously flows with like three different stories that are huge stories in any Royal Rumble, with Brock, the Edge return, and then the Drew ascend and win. So I think it's pretty good value here at 7.
That was going to be the other pick on the back-to-back. If I didn't take 02, it was going to be 2020. I'm very big on Brock's first half dominance because it's the perfect encapsulation of the new version of Brock Lesnar, where he's very personable in a way.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing way more personality and like that innate charisma. Just talking junk to Keith Lee.
Oh, the big boy. He's a big boy.
Big boy. Or like
big boy.
When Kofi comes out, he's like, okay, I remember when I ended Kofi Mania. Come on now. And like
they gave Kofi one little hope spot. But
and then like even the way they built through his first half run, like it's very dominant one-on-one, and then the ring starts to fill on him when you get Kofi, Big E, Rey Mysterio all in there together, and you're like, okay, these three have to be able to take Brock. And then Brock, nope, get out of here.
Yep.
And then you have to remember too the Ricochet story with Brock before, where Ricochet has like a one-off match with Brock. Brock just embarrasses him in Saudi, and Ricochet is integral in the elimination spot with Drew because Ricochet kicks him in the dick, and then Drew gets the Claymore over the top. So yeah, I love that Rumble so much, and
it's so good.
I also remember it because it was the same day that Kobe Bryant died.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was crazy because I watched it with Marcus. I was at his house, and it was like, even before the show started, we were like, man, Kobe died. And they were like, but we got Edge back? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
As like a wrestling fan,
I'd trade him back for Kobe.
I would too.
That was a softball. That was a softball. But this is still like where they have that Roman Reigns equity at the ends of the Rumbles, where he's the final participant before the winner, that really puts over the winner as well, because it's like, oh, Roman's going to win again in that era.
Exactly.
But, yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, solid match. I love that. That was on near the top of my list too. You guys, it's funny because every time you say Aaron's not going to take a modern one, I kind of gasp a little bit because I'm about to take a modern one. And I'm glad it fell on my lap because, truth be told, I have this as my second or third greatest Rumble of all time. I freaking love this match.
You heard
I
the
watched
pick.
it.
Greatest Rumble.
Yeah, you heard it. Put it on the list. Oh no!
And it's gonna be the
I guess
same
I'll-
year. It's gonna be the same year as the one he's about to take.
It's gonna be the same year. It's 2018. I men's 2018.
Very good.
I think this is a near perfect Royal Rumble from Balor and Rusev starting it. Just it's intense the whole time. Nakamura comes in about midway through, and then on the back end we get all the feuds intermingling. We get nonstop action, and we get this really cool. We get the Rey Mysterio return. We got Adam Cole trying to jump over the top rope because he's too short. But at the back end, we have the veterans against the new guys. And the veteran, and I love it. It's like it's Finn, Roman, and Nakamura against Orton, Cena, and Mysterio. And it just, when you look at that back six, you're like, in this situation, anyone can win. And at the time, the person I was pulling for was the person who I thought had no chance of winning, which was Nakamura. And he ended up pulling it out. And again, I love your point, Ryan, where you're talking about the cachet that Reigns has. They had it here too. I think it actually started in 2017 where they bring him in at the end. Everyone's mad because it's like, oh, come on, him. And then he's the last guy out to increase the pop. So for me, 2018 is absolutely stellar, top to bottom, perfectly booked. And it's the one that kind of regained my hope in the Rumble. Now that would be destroyed the next year, but we can't have everything.
Yeah, and this one was early because the women's closed, right? So I wonder how
right.
that did it open the show, or did they have like
No,
a
no,
weird...
it's in the middle.
No, it was
Weird
the title
social
match.
card. Yeah.
It was that weird handicap title match that opened the show,
Oh,
right?
KO and Sammy versus AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
The
it
whole
like
card is weird. It's a
whatever
weird
it was.
card. It's a very weird card. I
Yeah.
was at this one live. Yeah, the pop for Nakamura winning was fantastic. And you're right, the Reigns tease was really good at the end because you just never know at all where he could end up, and he does end up anyway in that title match. So it was believable. It could have been him.
And I think there's an all-time comedy moment in it too with Heath Slater where he gets thrown into the aisle, and every single person is it Heath Slater? Am I crazy?
No, it is. Sheamus cashes it in. I'm sorry.
Sheamus, yeah. Well, because Sheamus then goes in and Slater eliminates him, right? So I love that moment. There's just, to me, it's like I said, it's very perfect in terms of how it's booked and what they do with it. Even someone like Jinder, who had kind of been champion the last year, building up heat on him as he eliminates the New Day. Like, it's all those little things that I think really add to it being really fantastic. And I'm really happy to get
second pick for sure. Like to get that where you're at to get on top of 92.
At 8. Yeah,
it is very strong. And I think we got one more round of like strong rumbles, and then it'll start getting interesting. But
I was going back and forth in 18 and 20. I just went with the more storyline base and probably the better winner, to be frank.
18 was my other debate. I was debating 02, 18, 94. And Tim took 02.
Yeah.
I knew whatever one I didn't take, Aaron was taking either 94 or 18 around that, I'm guessing. So
look, if 94 was available, I'd take it next. But I'm not. I think 20 has the better winner, but I think maybe the better match is 18. But I don't know. If you didn't take 20, I would have taken it. So it's all there, right?
They're both in the same tier.
Yeah, exactly. For my next one, it's funny because it's kind of fallen to me again, and I'm kind of surprised that I have it at this point. And it's weird because again, it's not something that you'd think I would jump out at, like if you've listened to anything I've done. But I'm going 2008 in MSG. At this point, I think it's a great Rumble. I think Undertaker and Shawn carry the first half, and then Batista's got some great work in there. Triple H is actually really good in it too. You got the Piper stuff, the Snuka stuff, Cody Rhodes, Foley's great too. Cody Rhodes and his famous dropkick on the Undertaker, and then of course the greatest, to me, probably the best surprise they've ever done was Cena showing up at the end and clearing it. And I mean, we talked about this when we were doing No Holds Barred, but like, to me, the funniest part of the whole match is that when Cena comes out, they forget that they hate him. Like they start cheering. And then like, once he gets in the ring, they kind of like, oh, and they start going back to booing. But again, it's just like, what I love about this one too, is it's a really great time capsule of the mid 2000s. You got all the big guys. The only guy I don't think is in it is Orton, right? But like everybody else is like up and down the card on this one. So I'm happy to get it this is the 9th pick. Like, so for me to get this at 9, I feel really grateful.
And Piper and Snook is awesome. I mean, it's a great moment
Yeah,
in MSG. Like, it's so much fun.
Yeah, and the story, the story that Undertaker and Michaels tell based on the year before, where Michaels is just sneaking around the ring trying to get him out the whole first half. I love it, and I love Batista as the bully later on. Umaga's great in it too. Like, perfect.
All right, I'm up. I'm debating on 2. They're from similar years, but I think I'm gonna go with the one with the better ending, and that is 2007. You got 10 guys from each brand. You get 10 from SmackDown, 10 from Raw, and 10 from ECW. And I think the ECW guys added a unique twist. I love Sabu coming out. I love Dreamer. I love the new breed guys coming out. It's kind of prelude to that WrestleMania match and what's really going on in that era. I think that it's good undercard stuff for the Royal Rumble, which is similar to the 2001 stuff where you had the hardcore stuff. In 2007, you kind of get that with like a later version of ECW guys as well. This is coming off of course, the awesome Umaga and Cena match, but just guys like Benoit and Edge in this match really are glues with Finlay as well. And I like 1-2 with Finlay and Flair. It's kind of like a low-key dream match that you don't really think you want, but then when you get it, you're like, all right, this is kind of cool for 2-3 minutes. Let's kind of settle in here. I think they set a good tone for the Royal Rumble. There's some dull points, which I'm not really kind of trying to endorse, but the star power is wonderful. Definitely towards the end, you get the weird Booker T and Kane stuff, right? With the double elimination, but you get Orton, you get Michaels, you get Edge, but really why I took this over one similar to is you get a 10 to 15 minute stretch, which is a prelude to the WrestleMania matches between Shawn and The Undertaker. Really, you don't know who's going to win. Triple H is out. The WrestleMania main event is vulnerable in a way on who's going to steal it in a way. You have 2 veterans that been there, done it. Which one's going to steal it? The hope of Shawn kind of, I don't know. I just think it's fantastic. And I don't know, name a better 10-minute stretch to close a Royal Rumble than those 2. So that's kind of why I went with that.
Well, when Michaels is hanging from that rope, that's about 10 minutes while he's on the 1 foot.
Yeah. It's the first one to really have like that long closing stretch. Like we'll get a few more later, but that's the first one where they really took advantage and were like, all right, like we're just going to make this like its own, almost like its own separate match. And they had a hard act to follow, coming off Umaga and Cena too. Like that was like not an easy spot to follow coming out of there to deliver on. So,
and it's also historic in the fact that it's the first Rumble in which the last participant wins. So Undertaker finally breaks the stigma of the last entrant has the best odds, and then they just go right back to the well the next year with Cena. But you know, there's always a first, right? And like so that's where you could leave in a little doubt of no one's ever won it from 30. Is it going to be Shawn? Because Taker's been number 30 multiple times, even before then. So it's like, what does it matter? So
I would say the other thing too, watching it live, like at the time, I don't know about you guys, but it didn't make sense to me for The Undertaker to win. Like he didn't feel like he was going to be inserted into a title match at that point in his career.
It seemed like it was definitely a surprise toward the end for sure. And who knew what was to come? It was like a great year for him.
He's coming off feuding with Henry and Khali and then Kane. Like,
or he was done. He has these weird resets. It's like, you know, 01 was kind of one at the hardcore division, 97, 01, where it's like you think he's kind of done. And then he kind of has another one at 05 where it comes off the high ring. Then he heats back up with Orton. And then you kind of think he's done again. And then boom, 07. You know, it's like he like all of a sudden elevates every few years back in as a worker.
Yeah. Probably has a lot to do with who he's fighting, by the way.
Obviously. All right. I was starting to think like maybe we were down a tier, but then I found a couple here hidden in the weeds that I think are pretty highly touted. So I'm gonna go ahead and take one that I think is, you know, I have rated pretty highly, and I think we talked about it quite highly on No Holds Barred, and I'm surprised it's still sitting here, but then I look at what's ahead of it, and it's probably about right. I'm gonna go 2005.
That's what I debated.
You know, it's got a lot of great workers in it. It apes the 94 finish a bit with Cena Batista, whether it's intentional or not. And we talked about this a lot. Aaron knows about the Vince. Moment. It's insane. You know, the opening stretch is a little bit rough with Holly and Benoit, you know, and Eddie being bullies to Pewter and all that shit. But once you get through that stretch, it really kind of cooks from there. And it doesn't slow down. Plus, you get Angle destroying Sean at ringside to set up their Mania match, which is awesome too. I think he kills Scotty Too Hotty in the back too to get in the match or whatever. So the whole thing is just really well done. It's a great Rumble.
Yeah, that's what I kept going back and forth with between 07, but I went with the final stretch.
Yeah, I think I would have went 07 over 05, like when I was looking where I was headed next. So
yeah, for me, it was between 2008 and 05. Yeah. I'm like, where am I going to get Cena and Batista? Right.
And even like, to steal a little like WWE war logic, I love the West Side Rumble.
Yeah,
the whole aesthetic with everything. The commercials leading up to it. Yo, great wig work. Primo.
Yeah.
Well, and then they do it in the match. They have the two sides.
Yeah, they have the Sharks and the Jets moment.
Yeah, they kind of face off in the match. And is that when they then attack Hassan? I think it is.
Yep, Hassan dies for everyone's sins and gets
elevated
and lifted.
He did. He's an American. He's an American citizen, guys.
He is an American citizen.
Italian American. He's a principal now.
He's a principal?
Yeah.
God,
I don't know if I'd like to.
Hassan was my principal. Like, fucking.
He's like a middle school principal.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I want to.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. Like, I want to go. I wish I was in school. I just play the music every time I saw him.
I wonder if he would like pop or like get pissed.
Remember when you were a terrorist? And you sent out guys in black clothing?
Allegedly YouTube terms of service. Like,
I think how you would approach him in the tone you would have. If you go, you're a terrorist, he may get mad.
Right.
I saw you order men in masks to attack the Undertaker.
Mere days after those same men did a London bombing. Same dudes.
Why didn't they edit that out? Why couldn't they just edit it out?
You'd think some of the best TV production people in the world, they let one get past the goalie.
It's fine, pal. It's all good.
Yeah, no, nobody watches the news, pal. I'm up, and I still have a couple that I had primo spots on. So I'm going to go with my first pick. Another Rumble that tells a really good story. And it's one of the first Rumbles that really features continuity from a stable. And I'm going to go the 2009 Royal Rumble.
Really good pick.
This is the Legacy Rumble.
Yep.
Orton, Ted, good luck in your legal troubles. And Cody, Legacy sticking together through thick and thin. I hate that I'm picking Triple H in another highly featured Royal Rumble, but he kind of does that.
Wins, and that's it.
That's his thing. He's either in the end or he wins. But yeah, I love the Legacy Rumble. To me, it's not in that upper echelon, but it is solid. Like, and especially now that we're starting to get into that end of the third, beginning of the fourth, we're just looking for solid on base percentage, and that's this Rumble. So that's really all I've got on this for that. Just Legacy in general. Like, you've never had a stable be able to run the gamut and get to the end.
No.
To pick apart a guy, or try to at least.
And even the way the match ends with like the three of them on Triple H, and then Triple H manages to get the two out, but like Orton is on him right away. There's no like stare down. There's no like, I love that ending, because like a weaker booker, I think, would make them stand down and circle and have their own match. I love the way Orton wins it too.
Right. Very sneaky.
Orton's core, it plays into his core.
Yeah. And it pays off that they dominated the whole match, because even in the end they did it. They got it done for him. So
they won.
They used the numbers game even in eliminations. Like, he used his pawns to take out the king. Yeah. So
awesome RVD pop in that Rumble, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And on the back-to-back, I'm gonna take the first Women's Rumble off the board.
Good call.
I'm going to take the 2024 Women's Rumble.
Oh, I thought you were taking the first one.
No, that I was debating between the two. And while I do like the first women's rumble, and if it is on the board later, I will come back and snatch it, but I have a feeling it might go. The 24 rumble, I love for many reasons. Like Bailey gets to show out. She gets her Iron Woman performance. The debuts of Jade Cargill, the return of Naomi. Another like really late but impressive run from Liv Morgan, who just kind of lives perpetually in the final four of every women's rumble. You've got Roxanne Perez, you've got Jordan Grace in this one. So there's definitely a lot of major pieces that you see in WWE television now that's featured, and it really kind of set them up for this most recent boom, or at least period for the women.
I think that was Maxine's coming out party. I think she got some.
She got a good pop.
Some pushback that night from some lightness, so to speak. I think that's what I remember from that one. Surprised you went with that one, Tim. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I got a few. It's like two more men's ones. Like there's one I think that's great value that's out there. And that
which one is it? So we can pick it.
Yeah, what do you think?
What do you think?
But I do think the 18 women isn't going to get back, so I'm just going to grab it now.
Good call.
I'm not going to get Aaron both.
Right.
You know, I think it's a cool mix of the current day women with the old. You know, they brought all legends in to give them the nod, which I thought was a nice touch. Like all these ladies that helped us get here, they deserve to be in this all-time historical match. Asuka's a great winner. You know, she's going to have a really good match at Mania, even though she doesn't win. You also get Ronda Rousey's debut at the end of the match. She comes out, and that was a big pop in the arena that night. And Sasha Banks is phenomenal driving that match from the beginning. If you rewatch that, and really just appreciate her like doing the old Bret Hart, just kind of dragging everyone through the match, and like it's impressive. She never been in one, they never done one. Like, and it's like she just knew it was innate. Like she knew how to drive that match forward from that pole position. So it was really cool. So I'm going to take the 18 women, get the history on my side, mix it up a little bit, go modern. I have a lot of older Rumbles. So.
And, you know, it's funny. I actually think the end of that, the fact that they have an innovative ending for the end of the first women's Rumble is good too. With both of them on the apron and Asuka kicks out Nikki Bella's leg. Like we'd never seen that ending before. And often in the Rumble, we get the same ending, which whatever, it is what it is. But I like that they did that. And the Legends coming back was fantastic too. Vicky's amazing.
Excuse me.
Yep.
All right. I'm not sure it's the best Rumble available, but I'm fond of it. It is the 1998 Royal Rumble. It's like similar to 97. We were talking about tinge of attitude. This is the start of the attitude. You had some new gen in 97. I wanted the end of the attitude in 2001 with my first pick. So I kind of wanted the start of attitude. And you get a lot of historical moments as well. This is Rock's coming out party as a main eventer. In a way, he's in here from 3 all the way till 29, but getting eliminated last. Historically, you get the 3 faces of Foley. And then you have the bounty of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So every time that gauntlet, that buzzer went off, anticipation that your biggest star was coming out. So the guys had extra incentive to kind of, you know, go out there and eliminate Stone Cold before he got in the Royal Rumble, right? So this is I don't know if it's like the best complete Rumble, but I want value with the vibes and star power, and I wanted to bookend the attitude era on my roster here. So 1998.
Yeah, and I think it takes a hit sometimes because of the obvious winner, but sometimes the obvious winner, like it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? Like 96 years, Shawn is going to win. There's still some good stuff in there. This is similar to that. Similar to like 991, I think as well. You knew Hogan is going to win, but this is like better than both of those. I think just because Austin is so over, like the crowd wanted him to win, so the obvious win. And I do think it's a star maker match for Rock. It's kind of his coming out. You know, he had started to put it together at the end of 97, but this is like what they kind of presented him the strongest so far during that stretch where he makes it to the end from early on. The 3 faces of Foley, super memorable. You know, and the bounty piece where everyone's waiting for Austin to come out and they're all turned. He comes through the crowd. Yeah, it's just like, who cares that it's obvious? Because when you have a guy that is that mega over, the crowd just wants it. They want to see Steve Austin kick the shit out of everyone to win the Rumble and go to WrestleMania. So
Yeah,
it
you
works.
got Austin hovering in the luxury box too. I'm not Austin. Tyson hovering in the luxury box too. So
the only thing you would say is like it's a sneaky kind of weaker group because they hadn't really replenished the card yet in 98. Like they had thinned out so much in 97, but it's
you get a lot of DOA. You get a lot of the Bariquas.
Well, you got Foley taking up 3 spots. You know what I mean? It's like Honky. I think gets like
Honky's in there for 20 minutes.
Yeah, so like they
yeah, that's too long for him. But
we did that on Now Entering the Rumble era, and I remember we fucking hated that. But that's the only knock on it. I think it's just a thin roster, but it doesn't matter because Austin is still and Rock is so good. Again, it's a star maker for him.
And Foley's great in it too, and even Farouk. Like, don't shit on Farouk. Like, he was great there too. I wish someone would have told Ken. I wish someone would have told Ken Shamrock that everyone else was wearing black because no one wears any color in that thing except Ken Shamrock in his bright red.
It's the opposite of 90. 90 is like the colorful Rumble, and this is like the all black
monochrome. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a weird position to be in.
All right, we've had the pole position. What was that? Ryan's other one. Now we have the
hard position.
The hard position, the pole position. Now we have the weird position.
This is kind of the limp position, I'll be honest. I got a lot of choices, and so far everything is kind of playing along with the strategy that I've been it's not a strategy by any stretch, but I think it's important to have a women's Royal Rumble. I actually in this because I think it's been a big part of these shows for a long time. And of the ones that are left, I'm going to go with one that I think is actually a little under the radar, and that's 2023. I really like that match, like right from the start. I'm surprised when we did the January matches, we didn't end up talking about this one that much, and I'm not sure why. But you've got this is like some real heavy hitters. This is the one where Rhea Ripley comes in at number 1 and lasts for like an hour and 10 minutes. You have Liv Morgan also lasting that long. You've got some great performances too from Dakota Kai and Io Sky. I mean, she's good in everything. Piper Niven runs things for a while. Chelsea Green is in for 5 seconds, but it's a comedy bit. Good. Yeah, like anything with Chelsea Green. I mean, that's another not talked about moment from the 2024 one. Is she's in there a while and she's just a pleasure. So I wanted the women represented in mind. I think this is the best one left, and that's why I'm taking it.
I sat next to Chad in San Antonio for this one.
And how did that go?
He was a little annoyed that like Liv was hanging with Rhea, but it's bad.
But it's funny because it actually sets up their next like 2 years of their little feud here, right? And I really think like, I think maybe when we look back in like 20 years or so, I feel like the making of not that Rhea Ripley wasn't big before, but I think this was like the moment where it was like, okay, she's a main eventer now. And I think Rhea Ripley right now I have Charlotte Flair as the greatest women's wrestler of all time, but I think Rhea Ripley has a shot at overtaking her. I just think she's the complete package. She looks like a star, and this was her huge, big moment. So I'm down.
Yeah, it's Triple H's first booked Royal Rumble. So it's like, all right, I have my Gunther, I have my Rhea, I have my Liv, and I have my Cody. Those are going to be my kind of building blocks of the night. And you can see it.
Wait, Triple H booked this? Okay, so hold on. Let me rethink my whole well, I mean, and then going back the other way, this is going to be crazy, but I'm going to take the 2023 men's Royal Rumble.
Damn it. That was going to be my next one.
Like, I think
that was the one I was debating with the 18 women. Would you have taken the 18 women? Definitely, right?
No, well, I wouldn't have taken 2 women's matches.
No, but you would have taken the 18. If I took the 23 men, would you have taken the 18 women instead of 23 women?
I may have taken the 18 women.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, maybe.
I love the 23 men's Rumble. I definitely wanted it.
It's incredible. It's good start to finish. Sheamus is great. We talk about Gunther, but Sheamus is just as good, and he lasts for like 50 minutes as well. Right? He's in there beginning to end. Lots of great spots. I like even Brock coming in and getting eliminated by Lashley to further their stuff. Does someone take Rey Mysterio's place? That's what I don't remember about this one.
Isn't Dominic?
Yeah, or he beats him up backstage or something to further their feud. Cody's first win. I get he's coming back from injury, so he wasn't in there that long. I got no issue with it. Drew McIntyre. So I think the big reason why I really like this match is you have the trio of Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre in there for like 30 minutes together. And those three are just absolutely my favorite workers of the era. So, my God, I have a lot of modern shit on my list, but 2023 men's is mine.
Yeah, it was Ray was attacked by Dom, and he came out wearing Ray's mask.
Okay.
And that the all-time moment between me and Chad as we're sharing this story, Montez Ford comes out. I'm like, he's gonna last. They're gonna sneak him into the Final Four, and he was eliminated in 13 seconds.
Fucking good. Good.
All right, I'm up, and it might not be the most like sexiest pick here, but I don't know if it's going to help my list. But it's a really good Rumble. It's just kind of tarnished with history now, and that's 2004, right? So, yeah, Benoit is your winner. Him and Orton kick it off. Orton's run's really good, building up to the McFoley moment. And Benoit starts at number 1, and he's good throughout, and he eliminates the Big Show to kind of close, but you don't really remember it. It's similar to WrestleMania 20, where you don't talk about it historically, but in the moment, it was a pretty big deal. And in the moment,
about Benoit.
It was a very good Royal Rumble. That's not really.
It was. I remember we were watching this one a ton, like after it aired. Like, I mean, I remember when that Rumble ended, and on that night, I think I was watching Mark Clara maybe and Scott, I believe. When that Rumble ended that night, I remember saying like, this is like the new best Rumble ever, or like right with 92. Like, it's like the best Rumble since 92 and that moment, because the euphoria on Benoit winning when everyone wanted it for so long, and they make him go all the way from number 1, the story of him finally getting there. And even at the end, like, there's no fucking way Big Show's winning, but you still think they're going to screw him because they just had it for so long that you're thinking, okay, well, they're going to pull some shenanigan. And I love that elimination. I think it's really smart, instead of being a flash one that he's going to pull him. But it felt like his run of his entire career, having to drag the guy over the fucking rope to finally win this match. Like, I thought that was a really sharp booking point.
And it played into him being in there for an hour.
Yeah, that too. And he's the first guy to do it, right? Because like Sean had done the bell to bell, but it was the cheap version. So this was like the real first Iron Man to go the entire way from number 1 for the full hour. So it meant a lot. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get into the semantics of it all, but like coming out of that night, you definitely feel like this was an all-timer. And that whole show is kind of low-key disappointing too. Like Sean and Triple H is kind of disappointing. I remember Chavo and Eddie being super disappointing as a match. So like by the time you get to the Rumble, you're kind of like, all right, this night hasn't really clicked like you hoped it would.
Bob Holly didn't die.
Yeah, Holly didn't die. Like Rock. So it just, you kind of go into the match, and now the whole match you're spent on pins and needles with Benoit. It sucks that it's not really rewatchable now, because I'm curious if it holds up in any way. Like,
it's very good. There's just not a lot of star power depth in that Rumble, really.
And the other thing too that I think, and this is when I look, I haven't watched it in a few years, but when I watched it, I'd say 4 or 5 years ago, the only thing I didn't like about it was Benoit was way less active than I remember. But the moments he does participate in are awesome. Like, I love that they have him basically eliminate all the bigger guys. I think that's a little subtle bit they did too. That's, to me, why it felt transitory more than even Benoit winning, was that like, oh no, they're putting him over the Big Show. They're putting him over. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of who else the other big guys were, but there were a couple others that they specifically had him throw out.
Rewatching this Rumble, I always thought of like guys that go on to have really good years within the Royal Rumble of the year or whatever, and what they do in the Rumble. And there's a few times where guys that have great years do nothing or are terrible in the Rumble. And this is an example of that. JBL's in the Royal Rumble. He's first eliminated, and he's in the Rumble for 38 seconds. And then 6 months later, he's your world champ. So, and the whole show's built around him. So it's one of those, I think that's like an interesting project to look at, guys that don't do anything in the Royal Rumble, but yet they go on to doing a lot with them in that year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just while I have it. So the guys he eliminates are Mark Henry, Bradshaw, Rhino, A-Train, and Big Show. Yeah. And like I said, those are all the biggest guys in the ring, except for maybe Rhino there, but
Rhino's pretty big by that point. I think what ends up separating it from 92 is that 92 holds up regardless of not being in the moment. 04 is like buoyed by the moment. Like, I think if you watch that Rumble live, it carries it a little bit more for you, again, putting the other stuff aside. And I think as time has gone on, obviously that weighs on you, but also like the luster just comes off. Like So that I think that affects it a little bit more. Like it's just, but in the moment, it felt like 92. It was like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing ever. I think, but I think it was just because you had to be in the moment and you had to realize what that meant to a generation of fans that like lived by this guy getting buried, for years. It was
unfortunate choice.
Yeah. All right. So that said, Ryan, I feel like every draft we do, there's one that slides down the board and it feels like it's going to be great value and it keeps sliding and sliding. And guess what? I'm not going to take it. And we'll see if Tim does. But I'm instead going to stay right around where you are. And I'm going to go with the very underrated, overlooked oft 2003 Royal Rumble. I really like the hardcore stuff in the beginning. I love the Shawn and Jericho aspect of the show. And I really like the end. I think it's like an underrated finish with all the big hosses in there, and Brock really earns it. It bookends him starting the show, having to earn his spot by beating Big Show, and then at the end he eliminates Undertaker, which kind of gets forgotten too, that he eliminates Undertaker. That's Taker's return. Everyone thought he was coming back as a dead man, but he just comes back as the biker still. So there's a little bit of fart in church during that. But I think it's like a sneaky, fun Rumble. Like it's very active. The crowd is pretty into it. Like in Boston, it's a pretty good setup. It's coming off Benoit Angle earlier in the night.
It was a good show. Yeah.
What was that?
I was there. It's a great show.
Yeah. And I feel like it's got like a sneaky good mix of talent too from that era. It's like 03 is still kind of got some guys out there. And like it's got the Hardys, it's got Eddie, it's got Edge and Christian, it's got Ray, Shawn, Jericho, Cena, Booker, RVD, Goldust, Batista, Brock, Taker. Like it's got a lot of stars in there.
Chris Nowinski.
So again, there's another one I think.
Nice, that Rumble. That's where he gets his concussion from the double.
Nice. Historical. It's a historical Rumble.
So I think that like there's one. We'll see if Tim takes it. That probably should have went over this, but I just like this, and I got like a vanity pick coming at the end, so it had to be what it is. But I like 03. I'm going to give it some love.
I went back and forth. I think it's closer to the 04 tier. I just kind of think 04 is a little better.
I think 04's got the better through line story. I think 03 has a lot more happening throughout the match.
Way more star power.
Yeah, and I love I really like the finish. I think like Brock earning it against the big guys is really cool. Like who's it? It's Kane. Is it Batista? It's Kane Taker and
Final Four. It's kind of his coming out.
Yeah, so it's like a cool. And Kane was coming off a big 03. Like that's like one of his biggest years after his debut.
Kane was like the Iron Man. Kane was Matt Hardy was the Iron Man, but like Jericho was the Iron Man, but Kane was in there like 20 minutes too before.
Yeah, he's in there for a while, and then Taker gets the big pop. And Brock eliminating him. It was a nice callback to their feud in late 02 as well. So it's like
their future.
Yeah, it was kind of him finishing it to then head to ascend to the title. So
yeah, if you're looking for me to wrap it up and put a pretty little bow on this, you are sadly mistaken because my last two picks are vibes only. My fifth pick, I'm going with one of the more unique Royal Rumbles. It's a concept I wish they did more often because I think it's a very interesting wrinkle that they could put in a Royal Rumble to make them special on like leap years or things like that. I'm taking the 2011 Royal Rumble. It is the first 40-man Rumble.
Yep.
And I am taking this simply for the fact that to this day, I still think Santino Marella has a chance to win the Royal Rumble.
He's great in it.
Right. Like with the Royal Rumbles, oftentimes it's an Occam's razor, right? The most logical choice is usually who wins the Rumble. Like you can set your watch to it. But especially in 2011, where there's so much programming, what does it hurt to give a Royal Rumble win to Santino Marella? You have that entire long road to WrestleMania. Fix it later. Even if he doesn't get the shot at WrestleMania and you bump it up earlier, give it to him earlier and retcon it and get to your actual WrestleMania main event later.
I think if they didn't care so much about Del Rio, they might have. I think that's just like they're really trying to get him over in that stretch, and he was really good at the end of 10. Like he deserved, I think, going into that spot. But
for sure,
yes, they never have ever taken that chance, and you're right. And I felt like that could have been the one time to do it. And it's something Scott always talked about, like why not one of these Rumbles just fucking pull the trigger and have some crazy upset? Like why not do it, especially nowadays with all the this 15 main event on every Mania. So it's like why not?
I mean, they kind of did do it in the 2025 men's Rumble, right? Like,
yeah.
That's
made him the
about as
champion,
close. As
But he was
close
already
as we're
made
gonna
it
get.
he was so before that. But yes, it was probably the closest we got. But yeah, I don't think you're wrong. The Diesel pop is great in that Rumble too. Like,
Right.
his big return.
Booker pop.
Yeah.
And Booker gets the good pop too.
There's the Cena comedy stuff with the Hornswoggle, which is actually okay. The only thing with this one, I think they actually do Del Rio a disservice having him come in at number 38.
Late.
That's always been my, like, if you're trying to put him over, like, you could put him in at like number 22 and it's still
The
like
winner
a
should have
good
still
run.
been from the original 30, I think. Like, I think they should have had the winning number still within the 30, but
Yeah.
because it's almost like every other Rumble, he doesn't exist. If it's any other Rumble, you know, so like at least have him win at like 29, even, you know.
Well, and that's it. If you're trying to put him over, like, let him do something instead of just come out at the end and win.
All right, Tim, what do you got for your last pick?
My last pick, I'm picking the worst Royal Rumble of all time. For one reason and one reason only.
He's going to do it.
There is a top 5 Royal Rumble moment. Titus World Slide. I am taking the greatest Royal Rumble.
Good pick.
One, I'm a Titus O'Neil mark. I have to rep Titus.
Mock.
Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Okay? That slide is easily
It's hilarious.
the most memeable Royal Rumble moment of all time. I bought the shirt. I could watch this like I'm blue in the face. I put this on par with like Grape Lady Falls, the Afro Ninja where the dude does the backflip and then bonks his head and then gets up with the nunchucks. Watching Titus biff it right at the end and almost like how he doesn't permanently hurt himself by missing. Like if you know what the underneath of a ring looks like, he misses a support beam by inches.
It could have been so bad.
And he's a large man moving at a high rate of speed.
And you don't want to get left behind in Saudi Arabia at the hospital with like
Not a chance.
Like,
They tried once, and but luckily that was on the tarmac, and this is different. But like for all of the bad, we get Titus World Slide, and that's enough for me to take it with my last pick.
What's a better botch, that or Vince tearing both quads?
Vince tearing the quads.
They're both great.
Because it's Vince, and it's so fucking ridiculous.
It is.
And it's the end of the match.
He's barking the orders.
He has to come and do it because of the match. It's so funny. He has to do it. He has.
I've never.
Not one, but both of them.
He's like a pouty baby in the ring. Like when he's doing the arms thing, he's like pick me up, pick me up.
I'm so mad. Ryan, if you had to pick, Aaron and Tim and I kind of already talked about this in Noel's Bar, but what is the more ridiculous McMahon blowout? Is it Vince or Shane at 39?
Well, Vince is probably a little bit more high profile and memorable, but Shane's is ridiculous. Well, is Snoop Dogg included? Because Snoop Dogg.
The whole thing, Snoop has to go. I love Shane. He comes in, he's doing all those stupid fucking boxing moves, and then immediately blows his quad out. It's so ridiculous. And you haven't seen him in years. Like he comes out for this.
It's supposed to be a star-making moment. I don't know. I still might go Vince just because of the historical and
he slams the jacket.
Like,
well, it's that when he tries to get up and he collapses. It's like.
Where he just his knees buckle under him, and he's like, I gotta straighten my legs.
He's just gonna sit against the ring and the other. Anyway.
You know, with all the unreal stuff going around, like in that show, all I want from that show is the audio from that fall. the sound he makes.
You know how they did the behind the scenes stuff for WrestleMania 9 when 40 came out? Give me the behind the scenes of the 05 Rumble and talk about Vince.
Especially if Cena Batista was truly a botch, because you know he's already losing his shit that they fucked up and he had to come out. If they stick that finish and they don't botch it, then he never comes out and blows it. I mean, he probably blows them a week later, but like unlikely, you know, in that moment.
Yeah. At least with the WrestleMania moment, Snoop Dogg saves it with one of like the best on the fly,
that
put your head on a swivel moments.
Yeah.
I will shout out a memeable moment from one of the Rumbles I chose earlier, 05, that doesn't get talked about. We didn't talk about it in Noah's Bar either. Snitsky eliminating London.
The flip.
It was like one of the best, like, early crazy eliminations because there weren't a lot before that. Before it became a thing, like when he clotheslines him off the apron, he does the fucking 450 or whatever off to the floor. Like it's ridiculous.
Almost lands on his head.
All right, Tim, you did not take one. Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry.
No, go.
Tim, you didn't take the one I thought was gonna maybe go, and I'm still not gonna take it. So it might slide all the way to Aaron at the end. I don't know, but I'm gonna take my little kind of personal pick, and it's not as insane as taking the Grass Royal Rumble. I'm gonna go 1989. I know the back end is kind of shaky, but just the Mega Power story in that is so good. Axe and Smash is so memorable. It's still talked about as like one of the greats. You got Andre and Jake with the snake. You get some cool stuff with the Brain Busters and the Rockers, and like it's a very tag heavy Rumble. I've always just said if they just escalate the Mega Power stuff to the end and have Stud win right after that with DiBiase, if it's like the Towers, the Mega Powers, DiBiase, and Stud is like your last 6, I think it's like an all-time Rumble. I just think that back end after Hogan gets eliminated is so blah that it kind of drags things down. But I think it's so integral to the Mega Power storyline, which is like one of the best storylines of all time, to drive one of the most profitable manias of all time at that point. I just think it's important enough that it should get recognized on here. And it's a lot of fun. Gorilla and Jesse are really good in it. And again, Axe and Smash is something they point to like every year in those by the numbers. You know, the Axe and Smash entered 1 and 2 and had to fight. Like they talk about that shit every time still 40 years later. So
yeah, no doubt. All right. I think I actually have pretty good value here. And I'm going to go 2025, the last year's men's Royal Rumble. I thought it was really cool how Penta and Ray started it off. Chad Gable was an excellent foil to them. And he would become El Grande Americano, so I can see why they did that, and it played off pretty well. Then the Otis, Braun Breaker, and iShow Speed stuff was risky, but I think it worked really, really well for what it was supposed to do. And then, like, you got some like some drags in the middle, but when Joe Henry comes out, you get the great reaction and whatever. And then I feel like it picked up star power wise. Roman, McIntyre, Uso, Styles, Cena, Punk, Rollins, even Dirty Dom, Sammy, LA, and Logan. Priest was in it as well. So a bunch of
Priest was in it as well.
World heavyweight champion. Also. Right. So I really like the stretch at the end with Roman, Punk, and Rollins leading to their WrestleMania match. And I liked the surprise and the risk of going with Jey Uso, giving him the belt for 2 months, whatever, making him tap Gunther out, even a weirder decision. But in the moment, in the time, John Cena's back. He's going to win the Royal Rumble. 2025 is his year. You know, he called his shot. And to go with Jey, and I thought that final stretch is pretty underrated anticipation-wise. Like, oh, wow, Jey's getting to the final 2. They're doing him right. You know, they're small building blocks with Jey. Maybe he'll break through one time. And then he breaks through, and I think John was really good in that final stretch as well, too, grasping onto the ropes and falling over, and the realization that he kind of lost as well. So, honestly, if we had more time in between last year's Rumble and this draft, perhaps it would have got drafted a little higher. But I think it's really good value here in the last round.
I think you summed it up pretty well. And the Jey moment was a pretty big surprise. So, yeah.
And even the way they do that ending is nice too. Like the way they end up on the apron and Cena kind of gets pushed out. Like, so it's not even done in a way. They even conceal the surprise with the ending, which I really like.
Yeah, just that Punk, Roman, and Seth stretch, I think, is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, I get the last pick of the draft, and so it's funny because I feel like I've ended up with like really good quality Royal Rumbles, but that was not my intention coming in. My intention coming in was to represent all the eras as best I could. And I think no matter what, I was going to miss something because no matter what, because I took a women's match, no matter what, I'm losing something. I feel I have the quintessential 80s guys in the 92 Rumble, even though it's the 90s, right? I feel I have the quintessential 2000s guys in 2008. I got the 2010 guys in 2018 and the 2020 guys in 2023. and then a women's match. So now I'm going to lose one of two eras, but my pick is going to be from the 90s. And it's probably going to sound like an insane pick, but I'm going to pick the Rumble that has potentially the second best commentary of all time in a Royal Rumble. And it's not something that I would ever imagine myself saying, but it's because of who's there. I am taking 1999.
Yep.
I am taking Stone Cold Steve Austin at the peak of his powers and the peak of, or very close to the peak of the Vince McMahon feud. I'm not going to lie and say that the first 10 entries or so after Austin and McMahon leave are great. The match does slow down. It could be booked way better. Once Austin returns to the match, though, it's a great Royal Rumble. It's a great Royal Rumble. You have Vince on commentary begging for someone to take because he was offering like $100,000. There's another bounty on his head, right?
Yeah, not the next year.
And then he's like, doesn't anybody want the $100,000? There's a lot of that going on. And it's great seeing Vince on commentary as the owner. You never see that anywhere except right here. And he's berating Michael Cole. Michael Cole says something to him, and he'll just put him in his place. Like he's got no.
I think one of the only other times he really did it was that throwback Raw with Jesse. Remember they did like the Battle Royal or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. And like I would say the pop too when Austin finally gets his hands on Vince and for the first 2 minutes just beats the shit out of him is incredible. Chyna's in it. She's great. Kane actually has a good run before the stupid people come and take him away. Austin coming back is a good surprise, although, you know, it's not that surprising, I suppose. Good showing from Owen Hart. Good showing from D'Lo Brown. X-Pac is strong in it as well. It's just look, it's not the best Rumble, but I need a Stone Cold Steve Austin Rumble. And he's in this one officially for almost an hour, unofficially for like half an hour. I'll take the half hour. And truth be told, it was between this or 96 to get Sean or whatever. I think
it's the better pick.
I think 96 is a better match, but I think this is a better pick.
I don't even know. I did debate this, so you're not too crazy. Like I did think about taking 99 when I took 89. I was going to be one of the two because of the storyline piece. It's a microcosm of all of 99. It's like I would say starting with Deadly Games until Survivor Series 99, that 12-month stretch, you have to decide. Like, are you okay with what you're getting in the in-ring because the storylines and the crowd heat and the madness that's happening on your show? Are you okay with just thinking it's a soap opera with some fighting for 3 minutes at a time? Like, if you're okay with that, then these are all like the best, of things you could take, right? If it's not what you want, then no. But I think you're perfectly good to take this Rumble. Like, I think the storyline, the through line, is like I'd rather watch that than some of these other meandering Rumbles, like where there's maybe better guys, but like nothing is happening, like 2000, right? Like 2000 is a better year, but it's such a boring fucking Rumble. And 96 is one, obviously, I just watched now again for War, and it's similar. There's some good stuff in it. I think Diesel's great in it. But again, there's stretches of kind of nothing. So it's like this one constantly has shit happening, even if it's a bunch of weird guys filling the ring, but they're over.
Viscera getting kidnapped. No other Rumble has a kidnapping.
Is he the biggest man to ever get kidnapped? He has to be.
Do you get the chicken vignettes? You get the chicken running vignettes too.
Yeah,
that's part of it. Those are incredible.
That's right. I hate him. I hate Austin.
Yeah, no, it's a good pick. So and we can go over our board in a second. The one I referenced, I cannot believe didn't get picked. Maybe everyone felt it was 2016. I almost took it 3 different times, but it's like, again, I just wanted the shit I wanted more than that. But you get the AJ pop is like all time. That crowd, again, Orlando, which is like a hidden all-time Rumble crowd, is great on that show. Ambrose is fantastic in the match. And you get the Reigns, Triple H with the title on the line. Like
R-Truth climbing the ladder thinking it's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it's a great Rumble. It's
Zayn and Owens going crazy.
Yeah. It's surprising that it didn't go. And that was the one I was going to take over 03. I just like 03 to watch better, so I took it. But I'm surprised 16 didn't go. That's the biggest one I'm surprised it didn't go.
I'm also surprised. Oh, go on, Tim.
I couldn't take 2 Triple H wins.
No, I know.
No, who can? I can't take it in my life. So
it's such a shitty year. Like I just didn't want it. But like I'm surprised it didn't go. Like I think we had it pretty high on the January matches. So
I think I have it rated higher than most of the ones I picked.
Yeah.
Another one is 2010. 2010 is generally regarded as
Yeah,
quite good.
that was
and-
on my list.
I almost took it.
I almost took it over 98, to be honest, but I kind of just wanted the vibes.
Yeah.
I
98 's a
debated
good pick.
taking, if we had like another round or two, taking one of the shit ones, like 15 just for the crowd. You know what I mean? But like I just didn't want to sully anything with it. But
It's a pandemic, but I sneakily think for the women, the 21 Royal Rumble for the
That's
women
Bianca,
is a good Rumble. Rhea comes out at like 3 or something like that. She's in it for a while as well.
I think that one is hurt by having the two Ironmans on the same show.
Yeah, actually, they both came in at because the Edge and the Orton thing is weird. Like that's just weird.
But what's her name? Bianca was in there from like the beginning.
She came in at
right?
3. Excuse me. Yeah,
That's
she came
it.
in
Yeah.
at 3.
But that's what I mean. On the same show, you had those guys. I think that hurts the whole show. Maybe not the match itself.
Her and Rhea's final stretch was really strong, and I don't know why, but I really really liked Jillian Hall with Billy Kay. I don't know why I like that moment so much. I just did.
the 22 men's, I had a decent grade on too. I can't sit here and say I remember a ton about it, but I was just kind of looking through the grades.
That's the Brock one.
Yeah,
The Brock and Rousey
Yeah.
night where they both came out as surprises and both won.
And
All
both
right.
came in at 30.
Oh,
Vince wasn't there, and he still booked it. Yeah, that's a catastrophe in a way.
All right, so maybe my grade sucks. All right, well, let's go through our picks real quick and wrap up. I think we went almost the length of the 2023 Rumble, so it's perfect.
We are the Iron Men here.
You know what? I'm going to do this. Usually we have everyone read their boards, but I think because it's the Royal Rumble, there's a certain way we need to do this. It's the NoSo Royal Rumble drafts, and here are our results. Aaron George, 1992, the 2018 Men's Rumble, 2008, the 2023 Women's Rumble, and the 2023 Men's Rumble. 1999, Ryan Gray, 2001, 2020, 2007, 1998, 2004, and 2025. KT with 1990, 1994, 2005, and the 2018 Women's Rumble. 2003 and 1989. And Ken, not the Toolman Taylor, 1997, 2002, 2009, the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble, 2011, and that dog pile of shit, the Greatest Royal Rumble, 2018. It's the Royal Rumble Draft. Get your votes in today on RankWrestling.com. All right, I should have done that like later, not when we still have shit to talk about. But that'll do a wrap. This is a lot of fun doing this little throwback Rumble draft. Hopefully, see you, Aaron and Tim, back in the draft room soon. Ryan again.
that wasn't the end of the show.
No, well, it could have been. Could have plugged shit. It should have been. It should have been the end. Check out Aaron and I at No Holds Barred. Check out Tim with us at No Holds Barred, as well at Final Wrestling Place Patreon too, and of course Ryan doing all the current day stuff here at the NoSo, plus some other potpourri along the way. The man behind the Chronoso as well. So check all that out. You can vote in the comments on YouTube, on our socials, or I mentioned at rankwrestling.com. We have polls for every draft you can vote too. Go ahead and just put your vote in for me now. Wrap that up. Be feel good. Enjoy the Royal Rumble this coming weekend. And we'll talk to you for Mania season. We got more drafts along the way. Talk to you soon. Keep on drafting.